Wapongeze kwa vikundi wanapoondoka uwanjani, mabibi na mabwana. Makofi mazuri kwa wanafunzi wetu wanapoondoka uwanjani. Asante. Thank you. Shukran. Asante. Nitaomba tuwe watulivu kwa ruksa ya Mheshimiwa Rais Shehe Adan Yasin na Mchungaji Mutiwa watuongoze kwa maombi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursalin sayyidina Muhammadin abdillahi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wa ba'du. Ya Allah, utuhifadhi na ubariki nchi yetu ya Kenya na ulinde kutoka kwa shari na balaa zote. Ya Allah, uhifadhi na umlinde rais wetu Dr. William Ruto na familia yake na kwa uongozi bora ya nchi yetu ya Kenya. Ya Allah, utusaidie na ukue banda ya wa viongozi wetu mbali wa kitaifa na viongozi wa kaunti. Ya Allah,
our Senator Ali Ibrahim Roba, myself of course, Honorable Abdul Haro, MP Mandera South, Honorable Hussein Waitan, Mandera East, Honorable Mohammed Abdikair, Lafe MP, Honorable Adan Haji Yusuf, MP Mandera South, Mandera West, our nominated members of Parliament, Honorable Sulaga Holbale, and Honorable Mariam Senator Wetu. From Baringo, we have Honorable Makilap from Baringo with us. From Turkana, we have Honorable Nanok, who is also our Vice Chair, Honorable Dr. Ariko, and Honorable Protas Akuja. Your Excellency, we have a number of dignitaries. County Assembly speakers are here, 14 of the speakers. I'm sure the COG governor will mention them. The deputy governors are also here. And our partners from various institutions, our ambassadors are also here. So I don't want to take much time, and our patron will later come and address and probably invite a few of us. Nevertheless, but you are most welcome. And whatever we have discussed here are many. But today we must walk away with something from their pocket. Leave it here for the pastoralist communities. And it's not that much. It's very few. Wewe ni pastoralist number one, lead us and show us the way. Asante sana, karibu.
Let's appreciate our chair with a lot of applause. Major Retired Bashir, thank you so much, sir. With the permission of Your Excellency, sir, allow me to invite the Patron Pastoralist Parliamentary Group.
Sorry, I forgot our senior elders who have been with us for the last 3 days. Honorable Ole Kaparo, our speaker, and is here. Honorable Hussein Maalim is here. The first PPG chairman, Honorable Dr. Abdullahi Wako, is here. We also had our senator, Madam Farhia, has been here. And I think I also forgot an MP from International who is part of PPG. His name is Ole Sankok, our ambassador for Iyala. So, and also don't forgetting our Waziri, former Waziri Mohammed Elmi. He is our very able consultant for PPG and he's been driven through this program. So, hata yetu tunamwambia asante with all our partners and everybody else. And karibuni. Oh, I forgot the famous, sorry, I didn't see you in time. Honorable Abdi Hussein Barre. I didn't see you, Mheshimiwa. My apologies. And yeye pia ni mbunge wetu wa Tarbach. And karibu sana Mheshimiwa. My apologies. Mheshimiwa sasa endelea, and maybe a patron will call a few other members to say something.
Your Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of Kenya Defense Forces, our host governor, all our governors present, Governor Nyang' Nyong'o, welcome. Today you are a pastoralist, and you actually look like one. Honorable members of Parliament and the Senate, county assemblies, our elders who have already been recognized, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Dido Raso, and I am the Member of Parliament representing Saku, the great county of Marsabit, and I'm also the patron of the Pastoralist Parliamentary Group. Your Excellency, we welcome you today to this very important occasion, the largest gathering of pastoralists. I think last time we were together in Garissa, and indeed you graced that occasion. Like my chairman said, today you are the president, and we know you are a pastoralist. And today we look forward not to complain. I am told there's a book in the Bible called Lamentation. Today we are not going to do lamentation. We are going to share ideas with you. We are going to also suggest and propose many things that we can do together, from members of parliament to governors to the national government. Finally, I want to thank our host governor. I think he has been gracious. I think he has gone out of his way, because we were afraid, was Wajir going to accommodate all this gathering here? We have been around for the last 3 days, and I think your organization has been magnificent, security has been first class, and we are indeed grateful that we have gathered here today. I will make my speech as the patron, but for now, all of the delegates, development partners, government officials, please feel welcomed and feel like a pastoralist. We are the most free people in the world. Thank you.
Let us appreciate our Chairperson, Frontier Counties Development Council. Thank you so much, sir. Your Excellency, allow me now to invite the Chairperson, Frontier Counties Development Council and Governor for Marsabit County, Governor Mohammed Ali, to make his remark. Let's appreciate our governor.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and in interest of time, all protocols observed. Your Excellency, this is the 4th edition of the Pastoralist Leadership Summit. We're indeed very grateful that you found time to be here. We are very passionate about this subject, but so as not to lose the content of what, as FCDC, we figured out. I have a small script that I will wish to go through for your attention, Your Excellency, sir. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to stand before you as a leader from the pastoralist community in Kenya, and more importantly, as the chair of the Frontier Counties Development Council, FCDC, a regional bloc comprising 10 counties, covering 65% of Kenya's landmass. Your Excellency, Pastoralist Leadership Summit brings together the leaders with the opportunity to brainstorm on how best and how fast we can unlock the immense yet untapped potential of the pastoralist areas. We are profoundly delighted that, Your Excellency, you found time to join us and accord us your distinguished company and magnanimity of your attention as we conclude this 4th edition of Pastoralist Leadership Summit. Your Excellency, over the past 3 days, we deliberated about the state of underdevelopment across the length and breadth of ASAL areas, the high incidences of poverty and household food insecurity among ASAL populations, the declining natural resource base, and the high vulnerability of the ASAL communities to disasters such as drought and floods. We also shared ideas and deliberated on actionable solutions as we proudly spoke about the enormous potential that exists in the ASALs. I will not narrate to you the problems that we deliberated about, nor will I describe those enormous potentials, nor the actions that needed to be taken to reverse the narrative of fragility and economic vulnerability of the ASAL communities. Your Excellency, the failure to develop the arid and semi-arid lands of Kenya is not due to a lack of understanding of what should be done. It is due to a lack of political will to do that which should be done. Your Excellency, we knew since independence that ending drought emergencies was not only an economic imperative, but an achievable goal. Every government has always known the importance of livestock sector to Kenya's national economic growth. A lot has been said and written on how harnessing natural resources that exist in Kenya's ASALs could drive and sustain national development. But up until now, little has been done to act on these understandings. However, during this summit and through our discussions, one thing that became clear is the interdependence between ASALs and other regions of Kenya. There is a symbiotic relationship between the economies of the ASAL and those of the non-ASALs that is not possible to realize sustainable economic growth in Kenya if ASALs are not incorporated into the national development agenda. This summit has made it clear that directing substantial resources towards the development of the ASALs should not wait any longer. We need to admit here and now that developing the ASALs, addressing the root causes of structural poverty and persistent societal vulnerability of the ASAL communities is no longer a choice. It is a prerequisite of Kenya's sustainable development. Finally, Your Excellency,
I must take a moment to acknowledge your dedication to fully operationalize the Equalization Fund. The recent launch of 1,236 projects under the Equalization Fund is a testimony to your pursuit of equitable development in our country. As I commend you for your dedication, it is our request that you insulate equitable development of Kenya from political infiltrations by political actors. Currently, the Equalization Fund is spread across 34 counties and 111 constituencies, instead of the original 14 counties to be targeted by the fund. Unless a bold decision is made to stop this overspreading of Equalization Fund, there is a risk that the fund will not realize the transformative, impactful, and equitable development that is intended for. As I conclude, Your Excellency, I want to give you the assurances of our commitment and that of the FCDC fraternity to support you in your leadership and your endeavor to unite Kenya and lead our nation to prosperity together. Your Excellency, I just want to recognize the very many partners who have stood with us in contributing towards the success of this summit. Since the host governor himself, a member of the FCDC, we will leave the opportunity for him to recognize the respective players who have contributed to this success of this forum, plus recognizing the FCDC fraternity that is present with us here today. Your Excellency, we are indeed very, very grateful and welcome to Pastoralist Leadership Summit. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you so much. Our Chairperson of Frontier Counties and Development Council and the Governor, Marsabit County, Honorable Governor Mohamud. Your Excellency, sir, with your permission, allow me to invite the Chairperson, Council of Governors, and the Governor of Wajir County, Governor Ahmed, who will make his remark. And with your permission, sir, also acknowledge the Ambassador for Swiss to Kenya and also the Assistant Secretary General, UNDP. Karibu, Governor. Let's appreciate Governor wetu kwa makofi mazuri.
Bismillah. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Your Excellency, welcome to Wajir. Your Excellency, I joked with you the other day that we're waiting for you like rain. We are glad to have you here. In economics, they talk of something called diminishing marginal utility. The places that you go one too many times don't seem to appreciate you. Please come back to us many more times. Your Excellency, before I make my brief remarks, with the Eldangers, because the only two Excellency governors here, and the third is representing my party leader who was also invited. I want to call them up stage here to just greet the people. So I'll start with my brother, the governor of Mandera, to make some very brief comments. Your Excellency, as he comes up, the governor of Garissa was with us here, and he had to travel back to Garissa under emergency last night. He lost his brother, and we say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. May he rest in peace. He really wanted to be here, but as a result of that emergency, he could not be with us. Karibu, Governor.
Thank you, Chair. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and all other protocol observed. Your Excellency, I just want to take this opportunity, joining my chairman in welcoming you to Wajir, and by extension to to the northeastern region of Kenya. Your Excellency, we cannot take for granted for you to travel all the way to Wajir to grace this important occasion. And Your Excellency, we are also looking forward to your planned visit to northeastern region. We have planned it several times, and it will happen when Allah will, but we are really waiting for you, and we hope that by mid-January we will start the tour. Your Excellency, I just want to mention one thing. There's one thing that is always very close to my heart. It is the road from Isiolo to Mandera. Your Excellency, in the morning we say there's a problem with coordination in matters of implementing this road. But there's also a challenge in coordinating security issues concerning the road. Your Excellency, from Wajir going to Mandera, we have security challenges, which of course, as the county government of Wajir and county government of Mandera and the people of these two counties, we are prepared to defend in the implementation of this road. Your Excellency, what we really require is a proper security coordination. We have challenge in that area because this is not a normal project. The challenges are there, we know it very well. If we don't coordinate it well, because there are people who look at this project as getting allowances and project implementation. And there's already pull and push within the security managers. And we need to be very honest with ourselves. Unless the security arrangement of this road from Wajir to Mandera is properly coordinated, and then the local communities involved, there is danger that this project might not see the light of the day. So, Your Excellency, as we requested you the other day when we met you as members of UDM, this project needs to move to your office because there are some Kenyans who doesn't see this as an important project. And unless it is put in the right place, which we believe it will be under your office. I know your intention, you mean good, very well, good for these people of this region, and unless it is moved there, this project will not be successful. And if this one fails now, then your legacy in this region will going to be a challenge. Finally, I just want to confirm to you that in the last election, we didn't do very well in terms of the way we used to do things in 2017 and 2013. I just want to assure you that we have discussed as a region and we are fully behind you and we're going to deliver 99% of our work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Governor. And may I now invite the Governor of Lamu County, His Excellency Isa Abdallah Timami.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Excellency Governors here present, Honorable Members of Parliament of both houses, Honorable Members of County Assemblies, Honorable Speakers, distinguished guests. First, let me greet you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am sure when the President saw me here at the airport, he must have been wondering, what is Lamu doing here? I just want to inform him that until the 1960s, we had NFD and contagious districts. Contagious districts were Lamu and Tana River. So Lamu is here by right. I also want to assure the President that our region, and Lamu is a founder member of FCDC. And we want to assure him, in our region, come 2027, we are prepared and we shall back him. I want to tell him that he doesn't even bother to come and campaign in our region. Si tumeamua. Hebu inueni mikono waone tumeamua. Your Excellency, our region and all, our biggest challenge is water. Na tunaomba serikali iwekeze vilivyo ili watu wetu tuondoe shida ya maji katika eneo letu. Kwa hivyo sitaki kusema mengi, ninawashukuru wale wote ambao mmefika, na tunamwambia Rais Ruto kuwa mambo bado, na yeye mwenyewe atajionea hii kipindi imebaki, ile support tutampea. Asanteni sana na Mungu atubariki.
Thank you very much, Governor. Your Excellency, I just want to recognize the Deputy Governors who are here. If they may just stand up. I think there are lots of leaders who are recognized. Deputy Governors representing the Governors, please stand where you are so that His Excellency can see you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Speakers of county assemblies who are here, please stand up where you are. Thank you very much. MCAs who are here, please stand where you are so that His Excellency can see you. Asanteni, we recognize all of you. You are critical leaders in the cog of governance in this country, in the cog of the wheel of governance in this country. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, there are a number of development partners who are represented here. There are many of them. I'll just mention them by name. There's the Christensen Fund. They have all helped in one way or the other. There's the Netherlands Embassy. There is the EU, the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, the Aga Khan University, Interpeace, USAID. There are also a number of local and international organizations, including those from the UN family. There is SolarGen, Jamil Observatory, Millennium Water, GTZ, Code Aid, WFP, Safer World, the State Department of Assaults also helped us a lot. I should also have mentioned the Swiss Embassy. Your Excellency, by way of my remarks, may I reiterate that we are glad to have you here. We've had 3 days of deliberations in this hall. In the last 3 days, you can't imagine the number of times that a contributor said, now that we have a president who is a pastoralist. So expectations are abound. There is a lot of hope that you'll say a lot of good things here that will help move the pastoral economy forward. Your Excellency, there's a presentation that was made by your economic advisor, Dr. David Ndi, here yesterday. And he compared a pastoralist county, Marsabit, and a non-pastoralist county. I think it was the county of Kirinyaga. And he proved to us that in terms of potential, in terms of the potential to contribute to the economy, Marsabit is way ahead. And he had the facts and figures. Your Excellency, we've also, on many occasions in the last 3 days, mentioned the sessional paper number 10 of 1965, which sessional paper categorized Kenya into the Kenya with potential and the Kenya without potential. And we were erroneously, I would say, classified as the Kenya without potential. But now the realities of today is making all of us realize that the only potential remaining is in the Kenya that was deemed not to have potential. We have virgin land, which is rich. The soils are arable. Increasingly, our water situation is improving. Your Excellency, in many forums I've said, in the Kenya where there is water, there is no land left, so we must take water to the Kenya that has land, so that we can feed ourselves as a country. Your Excellency, in 2016, you'll remember, as Deputy President, when you came here with the then President, there was the Kenya Livestock Marketing Council, which you pronounced yourselves on. To date, it's yet to be operationalized. It has no council members or board. We believe it is a critical institution if we have to make our livestock marketable. Our chair of the FCDC has spoken about equalization. I will not repeat what he said, but Your Excellency, the sunset clause will be kicking in 6 years. We need your help to do one of two things: to release all the money so that we can implement the projects before the end of the sunset clause, or reasonably extend the sunset clause so that we don't lose that money. On the specific interventions that we discussed with you, and as far as this particular county of Wajir is concerned, I was a witness to all the calls you made, all the instructions you gave on the issue of Wajir water and sewerage, on the issue of dealing with the challenges that we have with electricity here, and the attempts to link us to the national grid, the instructions that you gave on the fast tracking and unclogging of the bottlenecks with respect to the Isiolo-Mandera Road, and in particular with the annuity program, on the instructions that you gave on the Butche Dam, and the numerous other requests that were made by the leadership of Wajir County. And we thank you for giving us time to discuss our problems as a county with you the moment you landed. We don't take it for granted, and we thank you for those interventions. Your Excellency, of late and in the recent past, there has been a lot of noises about the Social Health Authority and the Social Health Insurance Fund. There's also been noises from certain quarters about the National Equipment Support Program. Your Excellency, I wear two hats as the governor of Wajir County, but I'm also, as you all know, the current chair of the Council of Governors of Kenya. Your Excellency, if there is one thing that there is no controversy, no difference in opinion, no dispute between the COG and the national government, it is the implementation of SHA and the National Equipment Support Program. We're already seeing the benefits of SHA. Your Excellency, in my phone, I have messages which I have shared with leaders in many platforms of claims approved in our referral hospital to the tune of hundreds of thousands for surgical operations for patients who could not afford to pay those bills. By virtue of just registering as members, they were processed, they received the treatment they needed, which are complicated surgical treatments, operations, and we are receiving the claim we made to SHA. On the National Equipment Support Program, Your Excellency, this is a culmination of deliberations that went on for well over a year. And I have been at the center of it, initially as Vice Chair of Council, and now as the Chair of Council. We evaluated, we weighed our options of the best way to replace the aging mesh equipment, and also to equip new facilities, upcoming facilities, such as the Level 5 hospital that we're building in this county. There was the option of outright purchase, which, given the reality of our economy, we could not afford. And we, consensually, between ourselves and the Ministry of Health and all the players in the health sector, agreed that the best way to go is public-private partnership. In the procuring of the vendors for the various categories of equipment, we also agreed as a Council of Governors to be represented by the Secretariat of the COG. And we were briefed every so often. We will call a full council meeting to be updated on how we are doing. So I want to ask the Fourth Estate to at times check the facts. Please check the facts with those that it concerns. It concerns us. We are on board. We are okay with it. We are waiting for the equipment to be delivered and deployed. Your Excellency, I would want to end it there, but before I sit, you will allow me, with your indulgence, to allow only two people before I welcome the Minister to welcome you. I want to allow the regional head of the UNDP, who's traveled all the way to Kenya for this meeting, to, on behalf of all the development partners who are here and who work with these 15 pastoralist counties, to come and greet the gathering in the presence of the President of the Republic of Kenya. And thereafter, I'll call upon the representative of my party leader, who is the acting party leader, to also come and make some remarks. Madam, please. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, it's good to see you again, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Governor Ahmed Abdullahi, thank you for welcoming us to this beautiful county. Honorable governors, distinguished pastoralist leaders, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's really a privilege to address you today and to be visiting this county for the first time. And on behalf of the United Nations, and in particular the United Nations Development Program, I want to extend a sincere appreciation for the partnership that we enjoy with the government of Kenya at national and at local level. You have been here 3 days and you have been discussing many things. So there is not much that I can tell you in terms of the situation, but just this morning arriving here and observing a little bit some of the activities, I was quite impressed to see the level of detail and practicality of the activities that you have been engaging in to unlock the potential of these regions in the north. And I want to congratulate you because I heard the women, I heard also some of the governors and the leaders, and I think what I felt was a sense of urgency and commitment to delivering value to the people of this region. You know, Kenya's pastoralist region, as we've heard just now from the governor, has immense potential for economic transformation. But this can only be realized through strong partnerships between the government, the private sector, and the development partners. And we are very pleased today that we traveled from Nairobi with some of our development partners. At UNDP, I would say we remain committed to supporting Kenya's inclusive growth. We will continue to catalyze finance, foster innovation, and promote multi-stakeholder collaboration to ensure that no one is left behind. Your Excellency, on the 6th, you launched a very important initiative with us, the Green Tech Hub of Timbuktu. The idea being that we mobilize the talent of our young people who work in tech and tech-enabled innovation to bring solutions to some of the wicked challenges that you are discussing here today that are climate-related, but also that present opportunities for green jobs, green transportation, and everything green. In other words, the potential that you speak about, Governor, could be lying in the opportunities that we have with our young people today who are so tech-savvy. And it is that technology, crowding in new technologies into this space that will help you get there. So my plea today is that you do not ignore the young people and their innovation. And we need to make sure that the solution, the journey here includes a lot of our youth because they really have the answers at their fingertips with the new technologies. And UNDP is putting its best foot forward to make sure that that asset of our youth and the ingenuity that they bring to this space has support and that we continue to invest in it. As we move forward, let's then reaffirm our commitment to the pastoralist communities as vital contributors to Kenya's growth, to its resilience, and to national cohesion. Together, I believe that we can reimagine pastoralism as a transformative force for sustainable development, for prosperity, and for equity for all. I thank you.
Thank you very much. May I now then invite His Excellency Professor Anyang' Nyong'o. Professor Anyang' Nyong'o is the acting party leader of the Orange Democratic Party, representing the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Your Excellency, as you come up, I am under a lot of pressure from the people in this hall that broad-based holds before up to and after 2027.
I tell you. My dear friend, Governor Ahmed Abdullahi, thank you for that compliment. My President, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, we go a long way. And I thank you for our coming to Kisumu the other day for our investment conference. I was very happy when I arrived at the airport and saw your plane there, because I know I'm going to have a ride back. Asante sana. My fellow governors who are here, leaders of the pastoralists in this place, and ladies and gentlemen, I come here really on behalf of the party leader, Honorable Raila Odinga, who could not come because he's on a mission supported by our president to become chairman of the African Union. And so he sent me, Your Excellency, to come and represent him. And what I'm going to read are his sentiments, not mine. I'm just a voice. But before I do that, I want to reveal also my very special relationship with the chairman of the Council of Governors, Ahmed Abdullahi. Hold me responsible for his having become chairman, because it's me who picked up a phone and called Ahmed. I said, the elections are coming. I'm proposing you to be chairman of the Council of Governors. And I never go wrong. Ama sivyo? Makofi kwangu basi. Now let me read on behalf of my party leader. It is an honor and privilege to represent our party leader today, His Excellency Raila Odinga, at this important summit. On behalf of our party leader and the Orange Democratic Movement, I bring you warm greetings and best wishes for a fruitful and impactful deliberation. ODM, under the leadership of Raila Odinga, has always stood and will continue to stand with pastoralists and other marginalized communities in Kenya. Our commitment in advancing your interest is not just a political stance. It is built upon a firm belief and commitment to social justice, shared prosperity, and inclusive development. History reminds us that the marginalization of pastoralist communities in Kenya was instituted by colonial economic policies which prioritized production for Europe's consumption. Colonial authorities disregarded the unique contributions and needs of regions inhabited by pastoralist communities, treating them as second-class citizens. It is a shame that 6 decades after independence, this systemic neglect persists in many ways. Post-independence Kenya inherited and reinforced discriminatory policies that concentrated development and investment along the Kenya-Uganda Railway, leaving vast swaths of our nation undeveloped. This historical injustice was not merely accidental, it was deliberate, and its effects continue to hinder progress among pastoralist communities even to this very day. It is for this reason, ladies and gentlemen, that ODM stood in solidarity with marginalized communities and fought to ensure the establishment of the Equalization Fund in our Constitution. This fund was designed to address historical imbalances by channeling resources to regions that had been left behind. However, we must candidly acknowledge that the implementation of this fund has been delayed and frustrated, denying deserving communities the development they greatly and urgently need. As a party, we shall not tire of fighting for equality and inclusion in economic interventions, political representation, and public employment. Our vision for Kenya is one where no community is left behind, where every citizen has a fair shot at prosperity, regardless of where they reside or come from. Our party leader, His Excellency Raila Odinga, has consistently and untiringly championed the cause of devolution. He has emphasized that devolution must be made to work, not just in principle, but in practice. Despite challenges, frustrations, and even outright sabotage, the establishment of county government has brought progress to pastoralist communities that was previously unimaginable. We salute the strides you have made in advancing local governance, education, and healthcare within your counties. Another significant challenge facing pastoralist communities is the impact of climate change. While all Kenyans are affected by this global crisis in one way or another, it is a fact that pastoralist communities bear an inordinate burden. Droughts, dwindling water resources, and shrinking grazing lands have pushed these communities to the brink. Addressing these impacts requires special attention from the national government and development partners who are here today. And I thank the government, His Excellency William Ruto, for paying special attention to this region. This is a crisis that cannot be ignored. And ODM will continue to champion your cause to ensure that solutions are not only found, but implemented. ODM has stood with you in the past and will continue to walk the journey with you. Together, we shall push for policies and programs that bring lasting development and dignity to pastoralist communities. Together, we shall fight for a Kenya where every citizen feels included and valued. As we continue our deliberations today, let us be guided by a shared vision of unity, equity, and progress. Let us reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that Kenya becomes a nation where no one is left behind. We thank you, and may our collective efforts bear fruit for the benefit of our communities and future generations. Asanteni sana.
May now invite the Cabinet Secretary for Environment and Climate Change, the Honorable Adan Duale.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and the Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces and the new Chair of the East Africa Community, my good friend and brother, the Chairman of Council of Governors and the Governor of Wajir, distinguished governors, distinguished senators, distinguished members of parliament who have been their leader for many years. And Your Excellency, I was the leader of this group for 10 years and handed over to Honorable Raso and the other team. Our good and important high ambassadors and development partners, the leadership of the national government led by our regional coordinator, heads of security. Your Excellency, I will not talk about environment, climate change, and forestry because the Director of Climate Change, as an expert, was here. She presented. All our team were here from KEFRI and all the other ministries. Your Excellency, I am a son of the Pastoralist, but today I am a minister of the Republic of Kenya. And the people of Wajir County, the leadership, this morning led by our governor, gave you the critical issues for the 3 counties. Water and sewerage for Garissa, for Wajir County, electricity, and Your Excellency, your legacy, which you have started when you are the Deputy President, this very important road called the Horn of Africa Gateway Development Project, which is funded by the World Bank and many other partners, including the government of Kenya. Your Excellency, before I continue, we have Principal Secretaries here who were here 4 days. Principal Secretary Umi Bashir, Principal Secretary Abdi Dubat, Principal Secretary Ismail Madei, Principal Secretary Kelo Harsama, and our Principal Secretary in charge of livestock. Very important, Bana Jonathan Mike. Please clap for them. Your Excellency, since you became and took over, and I'm happy today, Professor Anyang' Nyong did not say it. I am very happy because at one time you are the deputy party leader of ODM and Anyang' Nyong was the Secretary General. And I can tell you, and Honorable Henry Kosgei was the chairman. And I can tell you that was one of the times when a political party was run very well. I was a very young parliamentarian. So, siasa si uadui, siasa ni urafiki, na siasa ni mashindano. Your Excellency, since you became a president, there is peace, tranquility, and security in the pastoral areas. This region, the 5 counties in this region that border Ethiopia and Somalia, used to have serious security threat internally and externally. And I want to speak it even as a former minister, your Minister for Defense. Since you took over security, even in the North Rift, the interclan wars, the cattle wrestling, you said it when you were campaigning and it ended. Thank you very much on behalf of the leadership and on behalf of the cabinet that today me and my sister are representing. Number 2, Your Excellency, you have done 3 things, and I want you to continue. 3 things, whether I have been around. 3 things, and Professor Nyang Nyong will bear with me that. 3 things that President Kibaki tried and he could not do. President Uhuru tried and he could not do. These 3 things, the first one is on the unity of the people of Kenya. You will go into history as the only president when he was elected, because election is an event. Election is just one-day event. You are the only president who said, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your social status, regardless of your political status, regardless of your religious affiliation, and the county you come from, Kenya is one, and the people of Kenya must be treated as one. I want to thank you, and there are many of us, there are thousands and millions of Kenyans who will work with you. And Professor Nyang'o is here representing Honorable Raila Odinga. We are so proud of you. Yesterday you drove to our former president, a person you and myself worked with. You have reached out to former Prime Minister, and we encourage you to reach out to all leaders so that each and every leader, whether in the opposition, whether in government, we agree on one thing, on how Kenya can move forward. So, Your Excellency, we are behind you. There is leadership, we are all behind you, and I'm sure everybody in Kenya is very happy. Election is one event, uniting the country, developing the country. Number 2, Your Excellency, universal health care was tried by President Kibaki. And I want to say it here, one of the many things, but the 2 crucial things that can tell, and the ambassador of Ireland is here, the ambassador of Switzerland is here. One of the things that differentiate 2 countries, one which is developed and one which is underdeveloped, are 2 things: healthcare and education. And you have picked those 2. But let me pick on universal health care. Universal health care, President Kibaki tried. Honorable Charity Gilu was a minister. And it reached a stage where even President Kibaki said, no, this is a hot potato, I can't touch it. President Uhuru Kenyatta started it. Kisumu was one of the pilot counties. Kisumu, Machakos, Isiolo, and I think Nakuru. Or Nyeri. Those 4 counties were the pilots of the universal health care. At one stage, the President Uhuru said, this thing is too hot. Let me drop it. It died. Today, I want to tell the people of Kenya, Your Excellency, that universal health care should be, in fact, your main legacy, because it affects every section of our society. And why do I say so? Universal health care model has brought a new, better modification than NHIF. 54% Your Excellency, 54% of Kenyans cannot afford good health care. That's why these members of parliament, everybody were doing fundraising. That's why there's a huge migration. If you look at the numbers of Kenyans going to India to look for health care, you can't imagine. And the crisis happened during the COVID. Majority of our unemployed, those in the informal sector, the market we have just passed here, will access this universal, this social health authority. And governor have said it. Today, before this I was paying about 5,000 shillings. Now I'm paying close to 39,000. So those of us in the higher rank, I am sure the president is paying about 60, 70,000. So those who are paying 500, now it has dropped to 354%. 54% of the people who are the lower cadre, and these are facts, are now paying 300. And when they pay 300, you access what the Council of Governors Chairman was saying. Before, NHIF was only paying for the bed, for example. Now, SHA will pay for the bed, will pay for the surgery, will pay for the medicine. Those who cannot even pay, and at some stage, Your Excellency, you allow me even, and I think I will go to the FM station, because the county of Wajir, county of Garissa, county of Marsabit, county of Mandera, county of Isiolo, and other pastoral counties were not doing very well. Our three counties are doing, I think Wajir is the best, is doing 6%. Garissa and Mandera are doing 5%. And I want to ask all our leaders, during this December holiday, let us come back here and register our people en masse. Our people will walk into these hospitals. They will be treated. Those who are unemployed, who cannot pay the central government, the money that I am paying extra, the money that the former members of parliament are paying, the extra money is what is going to be used to treat the millions of Kenyans who are unemployed, who are in the informal sector, who cannot pay. Mama Mboga just needs to pay 300. They will never ask you for Harambe, for medical. They will never ask you, we want to take somebody to India. This is the benefit that SHA has brought. In the implementation, ask yourself, this system is waterproof. This system is fraud-proof. Many hospitals and clinics, if you walk in Wajir and Garissa and Kisumu, many hospitals and clinics will close when SHA takes root properly. The reason is there are many people who opened health centers and hospitals because they were getting fictitious, corrupt money from NHIF. But because I know a number of high quality, transparent health facilities will be found in our country. And I will tell you, the moment 100% transition is done, you will see many people in our counties closing shop. Why? Because they were surviving on the fraud that was taking place in the previous system. Second and last important on SHA is the patient's record. Your record in Wajir here, if you are a resident of Wajir and you are in Nairobi or Kisumu and you become sick, because of the digitization of the system, you don't need to carry lab test. You don't need to carry your history, ailment history. You go to your doctor, he clicks on the button of that computer and you'll find your record. But now, you go to this hospital, you're told pay for lab test. Next week you are sick, you go to another hospital in Nyeri, you are told pay for it. This is a very important thing. Your Excellency, affordable housing. I am sure the leadership of Wajir County and Garissa and Mandera and all these pastors sitting here, there is serious affordable housing going on in all their constituencies. What does the affordable house tell you? And also President Kibaki failed to deliver because of negative politics, because of negative forces. Affordable housing is a constitutional requirement, and it obligates government, the national government, led by the president, that there must be, it's an article in the Constitution, there must be a decent housing for every citizen. If a government has to implement that provision, then the answer is affordable housing. Your Excellency, affordable housing, I have seen it, I was shocked. I walked into Wajir, I look at the records, it's being done in Eldas, it's being done in all our constituencies, it's being done in all the 14 counties of that. So it's very, very clear thing, and please let you be remembered. In 2 years, Your Excellency, the biggest problem Kenya was facing in the education sector was the teacher-student ratio. These members will agree with me, I served with them, even today. But in 2 years, this is the only administration that employed so far, I think, over 120,000 teachers. In the 10 years of President Uhuru Kenyatta, we did 100,000. In 2.5 years of President William Ruto, this government has employed over 120,000. Your Excellency, teachers are now everywhere in northern Kenya. Secondly, we inherited an economy where the micro and the macro was not doing very well. Inflation was very high. The shilling was weak. Food prices were very high. Today, Kenya, good people, those who are listening to me and those who are here, Your Excellency, today in our region, our shilling has stabilized. Inflation has gone to 2.7%. In 16 years, we haven't seen it. The Kenyan Bankers Association, Your Excellency, they have a meeting every end of year. They have invited me as their chief guest tomorrow night. I'll speak more about the economy tomorrow. Those are the right guys who can give you. You told us, Your Excellency, that let us invest in production, not consuming. God gave us rain. Today I want to tell you this, pastoralist, including myself. My camels are about 100 kilometers from here. The 2.5 million animals we lost in the drought, the 4-year drought, Your Excellency, now our animals who have recovered, our pastoralists have recovered. And this time we have also that. Your Excellency, lastly, the education model, before I hand over to the governor. The education model that we see today in Kenya is an education model that, unlike when I went to the university many years ago, where all of us, regardless of our social status, we were given boom. It was called boom. We used to be given 5,000 shillings. Whether you're the son of a minister or you are the daughter of a peasant. This model is, Your Excellency, is saying the rich guys, the people who can pay for their children, need to pay school fees. And this model will only help the poor of the poor. So it has developed the community into different strata. So, Your Excellency, universal health care, education model, the unity of our people is very critical. And I want to ask all Kenyans, please, with a lot of humility, we want the leaders to have humility We must answer questions that citizens ask, where they ask in social media, where they ask in public. It's a listening government. We will listen to you, but give and get the correct fact. I have worked, as a final, I have worked with President Kibaki, I've worked with President Uhuru and yourself, I'm working with you. I want us leaders to be held to account. We are government that believes there must be transparency and accountability. Citizens have the right to hold their government, their president, their ministers, their PSs, and all in leadership. They must be held to account. We are ready, we are willing, more than anybody else, at any time, in any forum, to be held to account on what we promised and what was in our manifesto. With those many remarks, Your Excellency, I had to say this because, and I'll come back to Wajir with our governor, to Mandera with our governor, to Lamu. This Lamu is only pastoralist who at one time he eats fish and the other time he eats camel meat. He's the only one, he's very unique, the governor of Lamu. The rest of us, we don't eat fish. Unless we go to Kisumu and we are a visitor of our great governor, Anyang Yong, or we are at the coast. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Your Excellency, before I invite Kanoraso to read the communique that is the resolutions of this meeting, Your Excellency, the moment you leave this hall and we see you off, I'll have a situation on my hand because none of the MPs of this county has even welcomed you on this stage here. So with your indulgence, I want to ask the area member of parliament to come and greet people. You will excuse me for the protocol breach, but it was done before me. Your Excellency, sorry about that.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Because you are here, I will not say what other things I wanted to say. Lakini wageni, mnakaribishwa Wajir. Thank you for honoring us to come to this Pastoralist Leadership Summit. This is a summit which has been initiated before we even became counties by the Pastoralist Parliamentary Group. That is the group that forms the core of this Pastoralist Leadership Summit. So, as members of parliament who are here in my constituency, I apologize on behalf of everybody if you feel that you have been slighted and you have not been welcomed to Wajir. So nasema poleni sana. Please let us just take this as one of the many hitches that happens in when we are organizing big conferences. And because we have visitors with us, tunasema wacha tukaribishe visitors in-house. Hii kitu yetu in-house tutafanya baadaye, and heads will roll for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, that's a bit of damage control that I really needed. So may I then now invite the Secretary of the PPG, is it the Patron of the PPG, to come and read those resolutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. With your indulgence, I wish to call forward 4 of our elders in Pastoralist Parliamentary Group, Honorable Kainan, Farah, Sarah, Ali. Please just come to the podium. Your Excellency, before we read the communique from this summit, these are my elders in Parliament and also colleagues. and also they have a taste and feel for what pastoralism is all about. And I will give each one of them just 1 minute to make remarks.
Just 1 minute. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, I'm sure mine will not be a minute because of the protocol each. They have to, of course, we'll take care of your time. Your Excellency, we are all here as politicians. And you know, somebody like me and you who are not test to politicians, who are self-made politicians, we are always sticklers to procedures. And I also want to join the MP for Wajir East, the host MP, as the father of parliament, and being the biggest stakeholders, and having seen this group, Your Excellency, in 1999, you remember, one morning, Mzee Moi woke up and appointed all the officials of this particular group assistant ministers. And we were asked not to stop our subscriptions. Our patron there was the Honorable Francis Olekaparo, who is here. And what followed, Your Excellency, was the coordinator of our group was also, he had a dual citizenship somewhere. Alipelekwa Ethiopia, na huko akakuwa wazimu, na akakufia pale. So this organization has a very rich history. And that's why I want to join my colleague, the Honorable Aden Dawood, in apologizing to my colleagues as your father, as the father of parliament, in apologizing. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's our own making. Please accept our apologies as a group, because I know there are 109 of you there. Having said this, Your Excellency, we are all politicians. The government, serikali yako ni serikali ya wafugaji. Umetuonyesha, umedhibiti, na umetamuka na ukasema serikali hii ni serikali ya wafugaji. Ndio leo hii tuko hapa. Hiyo ina maana kubwa sana. Wale kama mimi na wewe ambaye tulikuwa hapa, mimi nimeshuhudia, nimesimama hapa kwa kiwanja ya Korehe 1999, 98, tukuliza barabara kutoka Nairobi, kutoka Garissa all the way. Leo hii barabara hiyo, Mheshimiwa Rais, that was 98. Haikufanyika. Nikiwa mjumbe tena 2007, 2008 nilisimama na Mheshimiwa Kibaki hapa. Haikufanyika. 2013 mimi na wewe na Mheshimiwa Uhuru tulisimama hapa, haikufanyika. 2017 ulikuja, 2022 ulikuja hapa, 2017 tulisimama hapa, haikufanyika. 2022 ulikuja hapa ukaahidi, na saa hizi barabara imeanza kutoka Isiolo, Lame inaelekea kutoka pale inaelekea. Tunataka kusema asante. Kile inabaki ni kidogo, ile kati, ile sehemu kutoka Madogash, ile Anuti mpaka Samatar, alafu kutoka Samatar mpaka Wajir, alafu Ramo. Hiyo ikitatuliwa, we will have Lame all the way. Mheshimiwa Rais, nataka nikukumbushe 2003 wakati Mzee Kibaki alichaguliwa, ile kitu ya kwanza aliona ni barabara kutoka Isiolo mpaka Moyale haikuwa na tarmac. Na kumbe alikuwa amesign new agreement 1974 wakati alikuwa Minister for Finance. Akasema hii ingine yote ngojeni, wacha ifanyike. Leo tunataka kwako. Kwa vile umeshuhudia na umekuwa hapa, na wewe sio mwanasiasa jana na leo, shida zetu ule unaiona yote, sema ifanyike na itafanyika. Na nyinyi wafugaji, mnaambiwa, I'll say this in English, President Ruto is not a transient president. He has been elected by the people of Kenya. There are those who are yapping around to say this, Mr. President, you are the fourth president I'm working with as a member of parliament. And therefore I can discern, appreciate, and look at the magnitude of the policy decisions that you want to make. We want to thank you. Don't be afraid. What has lagged this country behind over the last 60 years? In 1968, we were at par with South Korea. In 1968, we were at par with Indonesia. It's because people feared to make decisions. Make those decisions in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Kenyans will appreciate. And those who are running around saying today Ruto must go, will say Ruto must be around. And that is where we're heading. Mheshimiwa Rais, there is a livestock marketing authority Malaysia. There is livestock marketing authority ambayo tulimaliza. Mheshimiwa Rais, can that board be operationalized? That board be operationalized. Mheshimiwa Rais, hapo zamani za kale, na hii nataka hao wote wasikie, sisi tulikuwa tunanyanyaswa. Kulikuwa na vetting. Historia ya vetting ilikuwa ya Wasomali na wafugaji. Imetolewa ama haijatolewa? Simetolewa. Imetolewa, and we want to thank your PS, Professor Bitok and team, for removing that stigma of vetting. Imeisha. Sasa we are just like other Kenyans. Mheshimiwa Rais, NEDI project. Unikubalie tu nitasema, because I'm their father, what I understand. NED projects, kuna kijana alianza hiyo kazi. Tulikuletea 2013, 2017, kuna kijana anaitwa Ibrahim Rashid. Anatoka hapa. NED project, unajua, was frustrated between 2002, hizo, and then juzi, tunataka hiyo kijana rudi kwa hiyo kazi, Ibrahim Rashid, atusaidie kuimplement hiyo kazi. Hiyo nimeombe. Mheshimiwa Rais, nikimalizia, I want to ask this pastoralist. Kidogo tu, you know we are here as politicians. Mheshimiwa Rais, there are 15 governors, 14 governors, 14 senators, 14 county MPs, 109 MPs. J, tunaambiwa, SHA is not working. We are persuaded SHA is not working. Can we do it in all our constituencies and prove to the doubting Thomases that SHA is going to work and is going to be beneficial to the pastoralist communities who have been neglected? Finally, Your Excellency, the women power. The women power. I want you to listen to this. I want to thank you. Our ladies, the good ladies from the region. Our brother Kelo Arsama, this is the first time, and I thought should have been said by the PPG leadership. Your ministry ASAL sponsored this project and spent a whopping 14 billion to make this project success. We want to thank you and we want to thank the PS. Your Excellency, you have also appointed many women of power in this county. We have a PS, Umi Bashir. We have the chair lady, Northern Water. We have many other women of distinction. We want you to continue empowering the women. You have appointed Rama Jaldesa just last week as the chair of gender. Continue empowering women. But because our colleagues here have been sharing, allow me to break the protocol. Invite the Honorable, and we have to do because invite the Honorable Fatuma Jeho on behalf of the women to come and join us and also say thank you on behalf of the women fraternity. Your Excellency, I have one request, final request. Kumalizia. This is why I'm their father of parliament, and you know that's why I'm not going to do filibustering, but I will say the truth. Your Excellency, ulisema katika serikali yako hatutakuwa na abductions. Wewe mwenyewe, you know how you have joined politics. You have been firm. You have been consistent. Your Excellency, allow me to say this to you as your follower and also as a person who believes in true leadership and constitutionalism. Your Excellency, one of the elected MCS who ought to have been here, who comes from my constituency, the Honorable Yusuf Hussein, has been missing since September 2024. I urge you, you are our father, you are our friend, wherever he is, save his life and allow him to come back to his family. Nasema asanteni sana na mniradhi kwa hayo mengi, but I hope wherever we are, let us support our president. Usiasa haina uoga. Go to your villages. I know the social media. If truly we believe in what the president is doing is good, let us go all over and support his policies. 2027, all these are investors. Karibu sana kwa serikali yako.
Shukran. Your Excellency, the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, Your Excellencies, the governors present, wabunge walio mahali hapa, mabunge yote mbili, na mabunge ya gatuzi, wananchi wa Wajir, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Your Excellency, tunashukuru sana kwa sababu tuko hapa kama wafugaji. Na tusije tukafanya makosa kufikiria wafugaji ni kina Keinani peke yake. Tuko wafugaji hapa kutoka bonde la Ufa, tuko na wafugaji kutoka South Rift and North Rift, na hata tuko na wafugaji kutoka Murima. Mimi natoka hiyo Murima. Kwa hivyo wafugaji tuko hapa. Na nataka kusema Your Excellency, tunakushukuru kwa sababu wewe ni mmoja wa viongozi ambaye unatambua uongozi wa kina mama. Mimi nisingalikuwa hapa kama wewe haungalikuwa. Na Mheshimiwa Rais, tunakushukuru manake wewe kusema maneno ya uongozi wa kina mama sio story, umefanya. Tukiona kina Umi pale na wengine wengi, tunajua unatambua kina mama. Ningeomba tu kuambia kina mama wenzangu, ukifunguliwa dirisha kidogo, wewe tafuta mlango kubwa. Your Excellency, kama wafugaji na haswa kutoka South Rift, North Rift and the Murima, sisi ombi letu ni moja. Kuna kitu inaitwa fragmentation of land. Yaani mashamba yetu yamegawanywa vipande vipande, mpaka tunapozungumza sasa hivi itaelekea mahali hiyo mashamba haitakuwa na faida yoyote. Ukija pale Laikipia, Mheshimiwa Rais, ukifika kwangu Laikipia North constituency, which starts like 5 kilometers from Nanyuki town, plot inagawanywa quarter acre. Quarter acre kwa wafugaji itafanya nini? Ya pili, kuna maneno ya community land registration. Tunaomba yale mashamba ambaye haijasajiliwa kwa sasa, serikali yako isaidie ili community wakuwe na full ownership ya ardhi yao. Ya mwisho, Mheshimiwa Rais, tunakushukuru kwa sababu ya maneno ya usalama. Na Waswahili wanasema kanzu ya Ijumaa huvuliwa Alhamisi. Mimi naona sisi hii yetu ya mwakani tutaanza kuivua leo, si ndio? Waswahili mmesikia hayo? Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki.
Your Excellency, thank you very much. We really appreciate what you have done for the pastoralists. Our position is very simple. Sisi umetusaidia sana, hata ingawa sisi hatukusaidia katika kuria iliyopita. Saa hii ni wewe peke yako tuseme, mimi najua kuna mwingine ama mwingine moja na tarbaji. Saa hii wacha kukusaidia, hata kama wale wako karibu na sisi wakitusukuma nje, hatuwezi kuondoka, tunakaa hapo hapo. Umeelewa? Lakini tutashindana hapo mpaka tukupe kura zote. Hata wewe ukitufukuza wana tokeni nje, hatutoki. Umeelewa, Your Excellency? Hakuna mahali pa kwenda. You are getting 99% of our votes come the next election. The other one thing I want to tell you, we have a serious problem with young people who are out of school. Your Excellency, out of the 2.5 million students who are out of school, 1.5 of them come from only 10 asal. 10 asal. Between Garissa, Wajir and Mandera alone, we have 850,000 young boys and girls who are out of school. I just want to beg you to do one thing. Your Excellency, one key solution is to implement the provisions of the Section 95, subsection 2 of the Education Act of 2013, which allows the integration of the Duksi and Madrasa into the formal education. Because these children now who go to Duksi and other places, if they get the sheikh in there, we're not going to ask the TSC to employ those people to educate them. We will look for an alternative system. I think those instructors, we're not calling them teachers, those instructors can even be recruited through NACONEC. You get my point? So, Your Excellency, let us deal with this time bomb. The other thing, we already have recognized what you call the accelerated education system. I have a personal experience. I took a young man who came from the madrasa to standard 6. By the time he reached standard 8, he was number 1 in the index number, and he qualified to go to Stray. And now he's a doctor. He's a consultant doctor. So when you bring the students, children from those other places and integrate them into this, it works very well for our community. Your Excellency, we request you to give direction for the implementation of the Presidential Working Party report as regards the strengthening of NACONEC. NACONEC is one organization that has really made a transformation, serious transformation in the access to education of our people, because these pastoralists, when they move around all over and the children are there, they're being fed, then they will be there. But if they have nothing to feed on, then they have a problem. Your Excellency, the final issue is we have a problem of drugs in our region. This region is getting flooded with the drugs from Ethiopia and from Somalia. And they're coming in lorries, truckloads. Please direct your county commissioners and your county commandants to seal our borders to make sure this does not happen. Today, there are more than 10,000 illegal immigrants in Wajir here. And that business is very, very thriving. You know, once drugs come into place, then you create instant billionaires. Those instant billionaires now push back the law and order system. So what we need to do is, before we get another into Medellin and Colombia, let's deal with this problem right away and finish that thing. And let us see how we can stop drugs. Finally, Your Excellency, we have a big problem with Mira. I know you have, there are many other people also who want Mira, but we'll deal with it in our own ways. And I'm talking to the governors in here. Let us do what the coastal people did. At least for the start, stop Muguka. Stop Muguka completely. Because otherwise, Your Excellency, watoto wetu watamalizika. Ni vile ilikuwa tu with liquor. Liquor, you know, local brew in Kalenjin land, those early days when Moi was there and Haji, the late Haji, as a PC, and you know, resolved that problem. The government came hard on it and made sure that that thing is a thing of the past. Now, help us also get over that. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And we want to thank you a lot for all the good things you did for us. Na para sawa ile barabara ya Dadaab Liboi, Harhar. Ile Gariza Dadaab Harhar.
Thank you. For the interest of time, Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, all protocol observed. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Mheshimiwa Honorable Kainan, pamoja na His Excellency, thank you for seeing what the rest of the leadership did not see. Your Excellency and everyone that is here, karibuni Wajir, mujihisi nyumbani, mkule nyiri kwa wingi, maziwa ya ngamia na susa. Duale, make sure you get susa today. Mheshimiwa Rais, tulianza juzi hii mkutano, nilitereza hapa kidogo. Na leo pia sijaitwa, nikafikiria kidogo nimewekewa mtego. Nikasema nani ananiwekea hii mtego? Lakini nawakaribisha. Mheshimiwa Rais, as they say, politics is local. And when they see you coming here, we are given a lot of information to pass to you. Ya kwanza, niliambiwa nipatiane salamu wazee ambayo walikukaribisha kule stadium ukitafuta hii kiti, Mheshimiwa Rais. Walikuwa economic forum. Sikia, unajua kidogo sisi tulikuwa tunakulima, Mheshimiwa Rais. Lakini Mungu ni nani? Saizi tuko pamoja. Sasa pokea salamu kutoka wazee, Mheshimiwa Rais. Ya pili, watu wa Wajir wamesema ukirudi airport wasalimie. Utawasalimia, wamesikia. Mheshimiwa Rais, shida zangu si mingi. Niko na 3 tu nataka kuomba. Mheshimiwa Rais, tunaomba last mile connectivity. We are not doing very well. By the time you come back to Wajir, we expect at least to have connected 500 households. Mheshimiwa Rais. Ya pili, unajua I'm a county MP. I have 6 constituency. Wamama wa mboga wameniambia Mheshimiwa Rais anawatambua. Na nikuambie wanataka soko ambaye ni modern market. Na tunaomba Mheshimiwa Rais 6 modern markets, Mheshimiwa Rais, for each constituency. As you know, Mheshimiwa Rais, hatulimi, mboga zetu zinatoka Garissa, Isiolo na Meru. When it floods, just recently, 1 tomato was costing 100 shillings. You can imagine if we give them a modern market whereby they can store their goods, Mheshimiwa Rais, you will be able to achieve more. Duale Waziri, our town has a good plan. We want you to put a lot of trees to this town, Mheshimiwa Waziri. Lastly, Mheshimiwa Rais, I want to follow my colleague Honorable Kainan. we are missing a leader for 3 months. It's really taking a toll on us as the leaders of Wajir. Mheshimiwa Rais, kwa niaba ya watu wa Wajir, anytime I talk about this leader, I get emotional, Mheshimiwa Rais. Na kunyenyekea, Mheshimiwa Rais, tunataka ndugu yetu, kiongozi wetu, arudishwe nyumbani, Mheshimiwa Rais. Watu wa Wajir leo wamenifunga, wameniambia hii message nisikose kukwambia Mheshimiwa Rais. Lastly, Mheshimiwa Rais, a lot has been said about how we have been ignored. We are trying to achieve the 2/3 gender principle. We will not achieve if we are trying to sideline our ladies. Let us tell each other the truth. Mheshimiwa Rais, I'm the only elected leader from this county. Let me finish. I'm the only leader from, and it's embarrassing that I cannot be called to talk to my president. How are we going to achieve? And for that note, my sisters, they say, if you are not called to the table, get a chair, invite yourself. I had told the HE that today I have to speak to my people. Mheshimiwa Rais, nataka niambie wazee wetu wa Pastoralist, we have no harm. I don't want to be a governor, neither do I want to be a constituency MP. I am very content with the position the people of Wajir gave me. Kwa hiyo maneno na washukuru, asanteni sana.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Because all the leaders that have spoken about development and other issues, allow me to get political, because this is a political gathering. Your Excellency, it is important for us, the pastoralists, to understand our entire problem is political, and the solution is nothing other than political. Your Excellency, the collective registered voters in the pastoralist region, the 15 counties, is 4.1 million votes. You must be able to realize the power you have and exercise that power to be able to bring advantages to yourself. Your Excellency, we have 109 members of parliament in parliament. And it's very unfortunate because instead of billing our own shortfalls on the government, we should bill it to ourselves, because we always ask, where do we sign when it comes to other bills? Without saying, if you're signing some bills in favor of other economic programs, we should be also saying, how can I support you here and you support me here? Your Excellency, the reason why, and I don't say this for any ill intention, but I must say it. The reason why our brothers from Mount Kenya, who have taken half the government and half the development budget of this government, will still complain and believably make them appear aggrieved in this country when they have taken everything in reality. The only reason why that is possible is because of the collective votes that they have galvanized, and it has become a threat. If our pastoral communities understand the collective power of their 4.1 million votes and galvanize to support this government and this president, we will be able to sit and ask to be streamlined, at the forefront of the programs of government. Your Excellency, I'm the chair of Senate Standing Committee on Finance and Budget. This is the only government whose indicators in everything is positive, but the narrative out there is negative. Simply because these 109 members have not taken to the forefront to discuss the positives of government. How do you expect to be recognized? If you don't, in politics, you look for space, you look for a seat, you sit on it before people invite you. Why am I saying that? The exchange rate was at 164 when this president took over. It has stabilized at 130. People called it a glitch, a fluke, but it has sustained itself. That is a positive indicator of a working government. The inflation rate has come down from almost 6% to 3.6%. Nobody is speaking about it. The prices of essential commodities have come down tremendously. Nobody speaks about it. We were not credit worthy when this president took over. Today, as of last financial year, we've managed to pay 1.5 trillion of our debt, and everybody is ready to give us debt. And nobody should lie to you. People demonize. I heard a very absurd statement somewhere in the country, in Western Kenya, where a member of parliament, a student, said, this president has borrowed 10.7 trillion, oblivious of information. You know that our borrowing rate is much lower. The government of the United States of America, their debt to GDP rate is at 100 and something percent. And we are at 67%, and it's going down. I want to urge our brothers and sisters here, we have the power if we see it. We have the power if we organize ourselves. We have the power if we own this government, speak on behalf of this government in each of the 109 constituencies. Then we'll be able to tell the president, we need our space. With our 401 million votes in one basket. The other day I spoke, Your Excellency, for 20 seconds in this forum, nothing else. I just said, you know, the day the pastoralists understand and are able to galvanize their votes in one basket, then that is the day they would have realized the power they hold in their hands. Your Excellency, thank you very much, and I want to say, Karibu sana, may God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for indulging us, and also Governor Wajir for your magnanimity. Your Excellency, in the interest of time, I think I will just do a summary of what the pastoralist leaders coming from 15 counties, 107 members of Senate and the National Assembly, 15 governors, 15 senators, speakers, deputy governors, all assembled here. They came up with a resolution. First, it is on peace and security as the anchor to development. Your Excellency, I think you may not talk about it, but for those of us who have been in Parliament now long enough, I think this government has achieved enough in North Rift, in Upper Eastern, in Northern Kenya, that today the guns are silent. This is as a result of investment and also commitment by your leadership. So for that reason, the only thing we want to ask is development for peace. So that as soon as the guns are silent, let us do small things that brings youth on board, elders on board, so that we are able to develop prosperous societies in this region. Your Excellency, the second issue is on investment in the livestock economy. For those of us sitting in Parliament, this financial year, you gave us 1 billion. That has never happened in the history of Kenya. It is something others will say is small, but for many of us, we celebrate it because nobody has ever thought about the livestock or the pastoralist economy. So for that reason, going forward, Your Excellency, let livestock breeding, rearing be part of the economy. Because if we do that, then it means we are taking cognizance of 15 counties where people, that is their mainstay, the mainstay of the economy. Honorable Your Excellency, yes, I engage the Speaker a lot. Your Excellency, The other issue is on education. Honorable Farah said, today in the ASAL, we have 1.5 million children out of school. What we want to ask of your government is the continuation of boarding schools in the ASALs and also the continuation of a school feeding program. On Nakonek, at the beginning, I think there was the thinking that Nakonek was going to help in the ASAL. But in the last 10 years or so, the mandate of Nakonek has been gradually changed from addressing education in the ASAL to addressing pockets of vulnerabilities in all of Kenya. In the process, we as ASAL have suffered. For that reason, let Nakonek remain in its original mandate. Your Excellency, the fourth issue is about infrastructure. Water is the problem in the ASAL. If we have water, then the animals will not die. People will not migrate from their villages. They will not migrate to neighboring counties. So for that reason, we want to